and we are back here again in the Ocala National Forest. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you for joining my channel. I'm here studying the lessons of A Course in Miracles. I grab my favorite blue book every day and read it somewhere and make a video. And today we're going to be reading through lesson number 132. I loosed the world from all I thought it was. And before I left the house, I read through Ken Wapnick's explanation of this lesson, and he brought up a couple of great points that I just want to start off with. These lessons, we're now at 132. They've been building in a systematic way to get us to this point that we're at right now, reinforcing the same kinds of ideas to retrain our minds away from the indoctrination and programming of our illusory world that we find ourselves in. But speaking of the illusory world, one of the points that Ken made in his lesson discussion for today is that as much as the truth is that the body and this world isn't real, we believe that we're having a real experience. And it's important to not completely dismiss everything that's happening in your life, things that are happening in your body, whatever it is. It's okay to be with that and be in that. And one of the things that's happening to me, because I walk in the forest every day, is something that my friends call chiggers. Now, I always tell them, I don't believe in the world, I don't believe in my body, and I certainly don't believe in chiggers. Well, the welts and things that are showing up on my body are telling me that something is happening. My mind is manifesting something. So chiggers is my teacher. Chiggers are my teacher, whatever I'm trying to say. I'm having an experience in this illusory world. I happen to be having that experience from the perspective of this body. Now, from heaven's point of view, this is a dream. Every bit of it is a dream, including this vessel that my spirit is surfing in this lifetime. However, it's okay for me to acknowledge my chigger, scratchy welts on my body and do something about it. You don't have to completely aestheticize your life and simply use your mind to fix everything. However, I think it is important to always refer to the mind and make sure that you're not believing something about yourself because of some wound that you have or some illness that you have or a chronic condition you've been diagnosed with. That's when it really starts to get important for you to refer to your mind. Because I do think our mind is running the show in our bodies. However, like I said, it's okay to participate and acknowledge the chiggers in your life and not completely go back into the world. Anyway, all right, so let's jump into this. I just had to get that out. I feel super grateful today. I didn't get to see the, what do they call it? The northern lights that were visible in many, many parts of the US last night because I'm down here in Florida. I guess maybe it just didn't reach us, but I did take a picture of the moon, and I call it the fingernail moon because it's kind of like the sort of smile underneath the moon, and the reflection on my camera had these like 3 or 4 green lights, and I just feel like, you know, that's some otherworldly presence that wanted to be known to me, wanted to be shown to me. And it just reinforces that there's a lot of energies that we're moving through out in space in our little galaxy right now. And I'm sure you're feeling it. I've been feeling it. Got a chance to revisit some things that are living in me that I didn't realize were there, and work on myself a little. But this book is helping me open up to my heart and continue to go back to the themes of the Course about forgiveness and peace and love and gentleness, and moving through my life without this harsh edge. So hopefully that's happening for you, and you're navigating all the changes and feelings and sensations with a sense of beauty and innocence and curiosity. All right, so let's do this lesson. Lesson 132. I loosed the world from all I thought it was. What keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? And what can save the world except yourself? Belief is powerful indeed. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. A madman thinks the world he sees is real and does not doubt it, nor can he be swayed by questioning his thoughts' effects. It is but when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to him at last. Yet is salvation easily achieved, for anyone is free to change his mind, and all his thoughts change with it. Now the source of thought has shifted, for to change your mind means you have changed the source of all ideas you think or ever thought or yet will think. You free the past from what you thought before. You free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeking what you do not want to find. The present now remains the only time. Here in the present is the world set free. For as you let the past be lifted and release the future from your ancient fears, you find escape and give it to the world. You have enslaved the world with all your fears, your doubts and miseries, your pain and tears, and all your sorrows. Press on it and keep the world a prisoner to your beliefs. Death strikes it everywhere because you hold the bitter thoughts of death within your mind. The world is nothing in itself. Your mind must give it meaning. And what you behold upon it are your wishes, acted out so you can look on them and think them real. Perhaps you think you did not make the world, but came unwillingly to what was made already, hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth, you found exactly what you looked for when you came. And this, everyone, section 4 of this lesson is a huge adult moment. We are not victims of anything. And we have created every situation. We have cast every character, the bad guy, the asshole, the bitch, the whatever, right? Those caricatures, those archetypes are actually parts of us that we've projected out onto the world, put on somebody else so we could judge them up one side and down the other. And the truth is that our higher self, our more adult, spirit level self, wanted to come in here and learn a lesson, wanted to come in here and handle that differently. And as soon as we soften enough to stop judging those people, those situations, those whatever, even the stuff that you hear about what comes through the womb of your mother and your grandmother and all this stuff, it's like, oh, we're carrying all this. That's what my problem is. Stop putting it off on everybody else and know that in your own experience, your own incarnation, it is yours. You feel it because it is yours, and you can heal it by softening and loving and forgiving. That's the only way. Your mind will tell you otherwise, right? That's the ego. But we got what we asked for. In every definition of what those words mean, we got what we asked for. Everything, every day. We are served up. It's our own leftovers, basically. Like we were in the spirit kitchen cooking it, and we got to eat it in this lifetime without remembering that that's what happened. There is no world apart from what you wish, and herein lies your ultimate release. Change but your mind on what you want to see, and all the world must change accordingly. Ideas leave not their source. This central theme is often stated in the text and must be borne in mind if you would understand the lesson for today. It is not pride which tells you that you made the world you see, a good point, and that it changes as you change your mind. That's something too. I think a lot of people feel like maybe Course in Miracles students have a complex, like, oh, you think you created the world, Sherry? Oh, you created me, I'm not real, So no. It's not an egotistical thing to say, I'm not saying I created everybody else's world, but I damn sure I'm saying I created my world. And at the soul level, I have asked other energies or other parts of myself, whatever it is, these other people seemingly on this level, in this realm, to be in my movie with me and to do things to me that make me feel feelings, good or bad. I mean, I think that's how it works. I'm not saying other people aren't real and all this, sort of like insulting kind of messaging that maybe people derive from the Course. But I am saying I created my own experience, and I created my experience with that person, that place, that idea, that belief. Oh gosh, yeah, what came to me a lot this morning was my beliefs about my body in terms of dietary restrictions. And you guys, like, after all the stuff I've done over the past couple of years with vegetarianism, veganism, raw veganism, fruitarianism, what I realized was I was trying to make the body this place of proof of my decision making and of my health. And while I think that the body does express what's going on in terms of like your habits or whatever, it's really the condition of your mind that determines your health. So what you're eating is related to your beliefs and perhaps what's available to you wherever you live, but it's, the body isn't the effect of anything. It's, you're just deep in your beliefs. Whatever you're doing, you're deep in your beliefs, and the body is here for us to utilize, and there's better ways to care for the body and than not, like sleeping well and meditating and, just being happy, like smiling actually makes everything better. But in terms of like trying to restrict your life so much in order to have an outcome in your life where, that's the big lesson, it's not true. Anything related to the body is not going to prove anything about heaven to you or anybody else. But it is pride that argues you have come into a world quite separate from yourself, impervious to what you think and quite apart from what you chance to think it is. There is no world, ! Says Jesus. This is the central thought the Course attempts to teach. Not everyone is ready to accept it, and each one must go as far as he can let himself be led along the road to truth. He will return and go still farther, or perhaps step back a while and then return again. That happens a lot, right? People say this book sits on their shelf for 20 years. But healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn there is no world and can accept the lesson now. Their readiness will bring the lesson to them in some form which they can understand and recognize. Some see it suddenly on point of death and rise to teach it. That's a good one. Some people go their whole lives saying, no, it's not true. I know what I believe. I know what's true. And then when they die, when the spirit leaves the body, what happens? Oh, okay. Oh yeah. No. I'll go back and I'll tell everybody. I know. I should have listened. It's like the V8 moment when your body dies. Okay. Others find it an experience that is not of this world, which shows them that the world does not exist because what they behold must be truth, and yet it clearly contradicts the world. And I think that sentence, Jesus is referring to near-death experiences. How many humans have left their bodies because of traumatic experiences? They go and see the light of heaven and learn so much and come back and talk about it. There's no excuse for people to not at least watch these videos. Maybe it takes a while for you to believe it because you are confronting all your programming of the world since you're a little baby being brought up in this war, death, and destruction culture. But there's so much information out there. Anybody can research this and know that we're being fooled in a way, but it's our own ego that's doing it. And some will find it in this course and in the exercises that we do today. Today's idea is true because the world does not exist. And if it is indeed your own imagining, then you can loose it from all things you ever thought it was by merely changing all the thoughts that gave it these appearances. The sick are healed as you let go of all thoughts of sickness. And the dead arise when you let thoughts of life replace all thoughts you ever held of death. Beautiful. So what we're doing emits a frequency or a signal out into the world. As Ken Wapnick says, there is no outer world, but like we are helping other people. And if you just believe that, even if it isn't true, how could that hurt? How could that hurt? If you do things knowing I'm helping my brothers and sisters on their journey because they're having a harder time than I am, that can't hurt anyone. A lesson earlier repeated once must now be stressed again, for it contains the firm foundation for today's idea. You are as God created you. There is no place where you can suffer and no time that can bring change to your eternal state. How can a world of time and place exist if you remain as God created you? What is the lesson for today except another way of saying that to know yourself, big S, is the salvation of the world? To free the world from every kind of pain is but to change your mind about yourself. There is no world apart from your ideas, because ideas leave not their source, and you maintain the world within your mind in thought. You maintain the world within your mind in thought. So everything you're perceiving and experiencing is coming through the filter of your own ideas. And until the tone of those ideas changes from fear to love, you're going to keep seeing the same thing and convincing yourself that you're right, God is wrong, Jesus is full of shit, blah, blah, blah. Yet, if you are as God created you, you cannot think apart from him, nor make what does not share his timelessness and love. Are these inherent in the world you see? Does it create like him? Unless it does, it is not real and cannot be at all. Not even a little bit real, like these chigger bites. See, I'm struggling here. Help me, Ken. If you are real, the world you see is false, for God's creation is unlike the world in every way. And as it was his thought by which you were created, so it is your thoughts which made it and must set it free, that you may know the thoughts you share with God. Release the world, ! Jesus says. Your real creations wait for this release to give you fatherhood, not of illusions, but as God in truth. God shares his fatherhood with you who are his son, for he makes no distinctions in what is himself and what is still himself. What he creates is not apart from him, and nowhere does the Father end, the Son begin as something separate from him. There is no world because it is a thought apart from God, and made to separate the Father and the Son and break away a part of God himself and thus destroy his wholeness. Can a world which comes from this idea be real? Can it be anywhere? Deny illusions, but accept the truth. Deny you are a shadow briefly laid upon a dying world. Release your mind, and you will look upon a world released. Today our purpose is to free the world from all the idle thoughts we ever held about it, and about all living things we see upon it. They cannot be there, nor can we. For we are in the home of our Father set for us, along with them. And we who are as he created us, would loose the world from this day, every one of our illusions, that we may be free. Begin the 15-minute periods in which we practice twice today with this. I, who remain as God created me, would loose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality. Then merely rest, alert but with no strain, and let your mind in quietness be changed so that the world is freed along with you. You need not realize that healing comes to many brothers far across the world, as well as to the ones you see nearby, as you send out these thoughts to bless the world. But you will sense your own release, although you may not fully understand as yet that you could never be released alone. Throughout the day, increase the freedom sent through your ideas to all the world, and say whenever you are tempted to deny the power of your simple change of mind, I loose the world from all I thought it was, and choose my own reality instead. I loose the world from all I thought it was, and so should you. So this was a pretty good lesson today. They're nice and long right now and filled with excellent information that is so confronting to the ego. And I hope that you're giving the ego all this love. Actually, that's really what it is. I was going to say like a kick in the ass or something, but it really is love. And it's like accepting that you may believe that you're in this experience, and you can still have a connection, a strong connection to the truth that tells you that all this is temporary. All this is meant to be training for you, an evolution for your soul, and an effort to support and love your brothers and sisters during this incarnation. And when you get to the heaven party that I talked about yesterday, I think everyone's going to thank you for the work that you're doing. I thank you. I'm grateful that you're here, and I'm ready for this experience to open up even more, to download all these light codes and all this amazing energy from whatever part of space it is that our galaxy is blazing through right now. I feel it. I want you to feel it. I want you to be proud of yourself. And I want you to know that all of creation is grateful for you as you are in this moment, perfectly, just as you are, sinless, beautiful, special in the way that you have a unique mission here. And then if you unleash your passion and make some space to just find those desires that you had maybe when you were younger, and activate some of that energy once again. We're here to do special things, amazing things, and doing it together makes it a lot more fun. So thanks for joining me today. I love you all so much. Have a beautiful day, enjoying these meditations and contemplations and downloads or whatever hits you. And I'll see you back here again tomorrow.